Hi, everyone. It's Marilyn Alauria, and welcome to Discovering Your Soul's Purpose Facebook Live. I'm super excited to talk to you about what we're going to talk about today. So let me give some really quick shout outs while people are joining us. Hi, Victoria. Hi, Susan. Hi, Solil. Hi, Lois. Hi, Courtney. Really happy that you're here. So before I start, because this is a really big topic, I don't know if you guys read my newsletter. Hi, Merritt. Hi, Sandra. But this is a huge topic, your soul's purpose, right? I Googled it for a second when I was writing my newsletter, and I'm like, whoa, there's a lot of information out there. Let's talk about this stuff. So what I want to know from all of you right off the bat as I fix my necklace is, this is the thing with the camera, it gets weird. What I want to know right off the bat is how many of you are in touch with your soul's purpose? How many of you in touch with your soul's purpose hit the likes and the loves, comment below, but definitely hit those likes and the loves. How many of you feel aligned with your soul's purpose? So it's how many of you have in touch with your soul's purpose, feel aligned with your soul's purpose? It's kind of the same question. And do you know what your soul's purpose is? Do you know what your soul's purpose is? I guess that's the biggest question, right? So we're going to be talking about how you discover your soul's purpose. Like, what is your soul's purpose? What does it mean? So I'd love to hear from you guys first, because I always think that if I'm frozen, go to another browser. If I'm frozen, she's not going to hear that. I always think that it's just such a big question, right? What is your soul's purpose? And there's so much around it. Like, oh my God, I got to get it right. I got to get it right in this lifetime. Forgive me, God. What if I get it wrong? Oh my goodness, I'm not living it, and I'm turning 50, or I'm turning 25 and I'm not living it. It doesn't even matter what age. It seems like that question of living your soul's purpose adds panic to everyone's life, no matter what age they're at. And I really want to stop the nonsense around it and really start talking about how you can really get to know your soul's purpose, cultivate what it is, know what it is, and start walking towards it. So I first want to see what are some of your comments, and I also want to make sure that I pin the video. As we all know, I am a one-woman show when I'm doing my Facebook Lives. I don't have a producer here and a camera there and all that kind of crap going on. So I'm going to make sure that I pin this. So let me find it first so everybody can find it. And it's now pinned to the top of the page. And it's looking a little blurry. I'm not liking that. And then I want to read your comments, and then we're going to move forward. And I want to talk about something. Last week, we talked about putting the brackets on your dreams, right? And I had a huge revelation about brackets on dreams and how fear stops you from manifesting. So I'm going to pack that one into this particular live, because it is really important, because that is what we're talking about. So I don't know why I'm blurry, but I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is. All right. It's not blurry on my thing, but it's blurry on them for some reason, which sucks. That sucks. That is blurry. So let's see what everybody is saying. So Donna says, so glad we're covering this today. Me too. Gia says, it's my passion where I excel naturally. That's what she says her soul's purpose is. Hello, Karen. Colleen says, I'm still figuring it out. I finished one aspect years ago. Now what's next? I don't know. Audrey says, I just lost Audrey because somebody else came through. I've been very dizzy today. No, I don't. And I'm so looking forward to you to help us get on track. Your memo this morning was so exciting. Ready, set, go. Good. Victoria said, still figuring it out, but it's edging in. I love that, Victoria. That's fun. Hello, little April. And Susan says, sometimes I feel aligned, but sometimes I'm not. So you can see that Courtney says, I'm aligned. I like that. But for those of you who aren't aligned, I don't want you to feel like you're doing something wrong. I feel that there is, like Jocelyn says, oh, it's been a sunny winter's day today. Thanks, Jocelyn. Jocelyn's always giving me the weather in England, because I live in sunny California and I'm always wishing for rain. So what I want to talk about is the soul's purpose. Like, how many of you feel the pressure? Tell me now, and hit the likes and the loves. How many of you feel the pressure, like, oh my goodness, I gotta get it right this lifetime? What do you think's going to happen to you if you don't get it right this lifetime? What do you think? That's a better question. How many of you feel like, if I don't get my soul's purpose right in this lifetime, ... let's finish that. Let's do a Mad Libs. If anybody remembers Mad Libs. If I don't find my soul's purpose in this lifetime, ... What happens? So Jelena says hi. Hi, Jalisa. Sorry, honey, I didn't say it right now. Susan says pressure. She feels an incredible amount of pressure around knowing if she doesn't get her soul's purpose right. Terry says disappointment in self and failure. Look at how big this is. Disappointment in self and failure. Mel says, then I will not get the most out of life. Wow. Wow. How many of us can relate to that? Hit the stars. I'm going to be telling you to hit the loves and the likes today because I want to hit loves and likes. I like when I see them when I review the video. Hey, I'm transparent. It's the truth. Karen said it would be so sad. Renelle says, I feel the financial pressure for finding your soul's purpose. What does that mean, Renelle? I'm curious. Pat says, I will be unhappy. And Kathleen says, I'll have to find it in the next. So, and Courtney agreed with Mel, so I need to know that's great. So this is a big deal. If you're not finding your soul's purpose, wow. Like, what's going on? What's our purpose here? Like, then we're living from a place of lack, from scarcity, from fear, from unhappiness. We're feeling the pressure of not being all that we can be. Therefore, we may be internalizing, feeling like we're losers or failures, or we just can't get it right, or it's not meant for us. You know, how many of you struggle with feeling inadequate because you don't know your soul's purpose? How many of you, thank goodness I took typing when I was a kid. Spelling is not very good, so there's no spell check on this. So how many of you feel inadequate for not knowing your soul's purpose? I have a feeling I'm spelling inadequate wrong. That'll go all over. They'll be like, she can't spell. My grammar sucks too. I write like I'm a Brooklyn girl. So Lisa said yes. Kama Devi says, I feel that our purpose unfolds perfectly in every moment that we breathe in love or pain. It's needed to find your way at whichever point you're meant to be. Yes, but are you living it, Kamal Devi? It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful statement. But are you living your soul's purpose is my next question. Florentine, this is something that a lot of people feel. I really don't want to come back. Do you want to do it now? Finally. So a lot of people feel that way too. Whereas says, I still struggle with that feeling of inadequacy. Let me tell you something. I wish I brought the quote over and I'll have to read it next time, but that is something that does happen. Inadequacy, there's my bra strap. Inadequacy happens no matter what. Like, you're going to have these feelings as you're building, growing, expanding, and becoming bigger. So that happens. Wendy says, inadequate, no, but looking through a dirty window. Interesting. Lorraine says she's right there with me on the spelling. Christine says, I found it I'm working on. I'm very excited about it. My guides, angels, and Jesus have given me signs over the last few months. Trust me, Marilyn, watching this helped me more than you could ever know. Thank you. You're welcome. Pamela says, I hate not knowing what is my soul's purpose. Okay. So there is a theme here. I don't need to keep reading. For the most part, most of you are saying that you feel the pressure of not knowing it. You really, really, really want to know it. You don't want to have to come back and do it again. You feel it's really important to know your soul's purpose. Now, let me ask you this important question. And this is going to be a very important question. But before I ask this, you know, I never know what they're going to do. Never know. All I know is the topic I'm going to talk about, but I don't even know what I'm going to say. Everybody close their eyes. Close your eyes, and I want you to find an anchor, the symbol of an anchor inside your soul. I want you to see a symbol of an anchor inside of you. So if you don't know what an anchor looks like, or you can't remember what an anchor looks like, or maybe my anchor's got a lot of swirly things around it, use whatever you think comes to you. If you have a difficulty seeing, don't worry about having the problem of seeing. Just be with it. Find, just feel into it, just lean into it. Where inside of you is this anchor? What does it feel like to see this anchor? Is it floating? Is it anchored into anything? What does it look like? How big is it? What's your breath doing now as you're breathing into this anchor? Now I want you to allow the question to drop into your heart and into your soul. What is my life's purpose? And I want you to answer it, and I don't want you to think about it, and I want you to put it in the comments. What is my soul's purpose? And put it in the comments. What is your soul's purpose? And I got to let my dog out because we all know what that's like. He does this all the time. Go. So what is your soul's purpose? What was your answer? Because now I'm really curious. And maybe some of you might be experiencing fear of actually writing that down, right? Oh no, if I write it down, it's not going to come true. Somebody else is going to steal it. Or, there could be something that comes up. And I want you, because we're going to talk about the brackets that we put on dreams again. I want you to sit in the experience of what it's like to reveal this, to be honest with yourself, to be honest with all of us about what is your soul's purpose. So I'm not seeing anybody hesitating in writing. Beverly says, be a light by living an average everyday life. Wow. That's interesting, Beverly. Tell me what an average everyday life is, Beverly. I'd like to know what an average everyday life is for you. Donna says to serve others. Kathleen says to be a bridge for others. Great. Courtney says a wellness guide guiding others to find their ... This thing is going so fast. Yvonne says if you're being your authentic self, you're able to express love and you're already on the path of your purpose. Beautiful, Yvonne. Donna says to serve others and help them in tough times. Love that. And Susan said to shine my inner love, sweetness, compassion by showing how I found it again. Great. Now I have a really important question. And I'm not going to reveal it until I write it. How much does it cost to be in your soul's purpose? How much does it cost to be in your soul's purpose? And I really want to know. What is the cost? Because some of you mentioned financial costs. Some of you mentioned that you couldn't do it because you're waiting for certain things in external to line you up to your soul's purpose. But from everything I'm reading, love with light, to help my family be healthy and happy. Oh, I'm so sorry, Victoria, since her daughter passed a year ago, her purpose is diminished. I would, I can't speak to the pain in your heart, but I can say that it has created probably a new purpose, as you can see by shedding light and love to your family. Susan said discipline. Kamal Devi says nothing. Rare is, again, crying or laughing and crying. Kamal Devi says nothing, yeah. Sorry, this is going so fast. Renelle says everything. Interesting. Merritt says nothing. A little bit of courage sometimes, not much more. Yes. Cynthia says, I'm getting chills. Experience and time. Lorraine says, whatever events happens in my life that causes growth. Right. So what you're seeing is life experience leads to your soul purpose. Life experience leads to your soul's purpose. So when I hear, look, your soul's purpose will shift and change. If you read my blog today, and if you haven't, make sure you read it. Oh, I have a gift for you. So before I go on, type, this is a great gift, by the way, type predictions in the comments, and you're going to get my year-long prediction ebook. And embedded in that is the audio file. Unfortunately, I channeled it, and I've recorded on 2 different things, and it's quiet. You can't hear it. So we transcribed it for you guys and put it into a beautiful ebook so you can read it all the time. So put predictions on. If you know anybody who wants predictions, share this live with them. It's really brilliant, and it's going to help you on your soul's purpose path. It's going to completely help you on your soul's purpose path. Okay, let me leave that up there so you can do that while we continue to talk. Ooh, there's somebody sitting behind me. I could feel it. I have a spirit. I've been having spirits all around me. So what I want to say, next time, don't wear a sweater where your bra strap shows. Soul's purpose, right? So the thing that bothers me about what's out there, what little I've noticed is out there, is all this pressure to know it. And if you don't do it right, you're not going to heaven or wherever you're supposed to go, or you're going to have to come back here and repeat it again. And I believe that soul's purpose has this feeling around it that we are, it's something huge. It's bigger than ourselves. I believe it is. I believe it's bigger than any of you are dreaming. But what I want to make clear about for all of you is that it's all in here already. It's all in here. And it doesn't need anything but the unpacking of your soul to find it, to have courage, to live it, and be out there with it. Now, what changes in your soul's purpose is how you use it. So for me personally, what I feel all of our soul's purposes are is to fully love ourselves and our soul, as best as we can. Doesn't mean you're not working in your soul's purpose while you're still learning how to love yourself more and more. Because the more that you expand, the more that you grow, the more that you reach more people, the more that you touch more lives, the more that you may get a little character build. You may get these character building moments in your own life where you're growing, right? And during that, you may have moments where you're not loving yourself completely or feeling a little bit like fakaked and off balance, and you may still be serving. But our lives are set up so that we really pay attention to this inside of us and love ourselves and really live from our heart and soul, not from here and not from all these little voices out here. So our soul's purpose is born inside of our heart and soul. And then we are meant to take this life experience, this love, this Victoria who lost her daughter, the people that I know on here, Florentine, who's creating bubbles sensations, how to find joy in people's lives. That's born out of your own pain. That's born out of your own passion. And then you create purpose. And our pains and our passion, they can sometimes shift and change. Our life experiences shift and change. Our viewpoint shifts and changes. We learn that we can do so much more in our lives. And because of that, we then serve. We then help others. We then share through story, through talking to somebody on the line next to you, helping somebody with their packages. We help by doing Facebook Lives. We help by commenting on Facebook feeds where you can help somebody else who's going through a struggle. That's our purpose. Our purpose, in my feelings, is to lift ourselves and then others to be the greatest, brightest star they're here to be. I read something in Big Magic last night, and I almost want to run into my bedroom and get it and read it to you, but I'll put the quote up later. What I want to say to all of you is that we are all gifts. We're all here to do whatever it is we desire, whether those things are incredibly big or, I can't remember the woman who said it, in her everyday life. Just in her average everyday life. However we describe it, we are here to do it. And what I'm asking all of you to do, and I'm going to tell you how to live your soul's purpose more next week, but what I'm asking all of you to do is to stop taking brackets to start taking the brackets off of your dreams and your soul's purpose, and to start living your life fully from your heart and soul, which costs nothing. You know what it costs? I'm going to tell you what it costs. It costs not listening to people who don't believe in you. It costs getting away from those programs in your head that tells you you can't be something because you're 25, 85, 15, or 10. It costs you believing in yourself. It costs you believing that you are a gift into this world and that God, universe, source put you here for a reason. It costs you being honest with yourself and trusting yourself. That's what it costs. How willing, and I want to know by the stars, you know, we don't have stars. Facebook needs stars. Can you please all write Facebook and tell them they have to put stars instead of likes and loves? Let's all know by likes and loves how much you relate to this, and definitely keep it on the comments as well. How much do you relate to this? So while you're doing that, I'm going to ask you another question, and I'm going to go get that. No, I'm not going to get it. I'll put the quote up later. I wanted to talk about something that's really, really, really important, okay? And for those of you who are just joining me, I have a beautiful gift for you. So type predictions into the comments section. I'm not selling anything. Sometimes, you know, it goes into a selling thing. Not happening. It's a beautiful, beautiful ebook of my year-long predictions. And this prediction, it was so powerful that the audio, both two audio recordings didn't record it. It's all about self-mastery this year. This year is about self-mastery. It's not letting me type in the thing anymore. You darn you. Be live. Okay. This year is all about self-mastery and finding your soul's purpose and living your soul's purpose. Super, super important. Okay. So I want to tell you something, and then I want to talk a little bit more and take some questions. Last night, so I've been grappling with a change, huge change in my life that Spirit has been asking me to do. Thank you, Victoria, for my stars. Huge, huge change. Huge. Spirit got me clear about it last year. You guys heard me talking about it, moving, right? So they told me where I'm moving, finally told me after like 5 years. And so now it's upon me. And it's here. And I'm planning for it. And I noticed I've been sleeping really kind of like, how am I going to do this? I don't know how I'm going to do this. I don't know. Where am I going? They're telling me to go someplace I don't even know anyone. Why am I doing this? What's going on? So what do you think's happening to me as I'm grappling with this huge life decision, which has to do with our soul's purpose? I'm in an incredible amount of fear. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going. I have no clue. I'm leaving a life that I love in LA, where I play tennis, I do yoga, I have tons and tons of friends, especially from New York. I have a house that is beautiful. I have my dogs, I have my hikes. So they're asking me to leave all of this and move someplace. And my soul is asking for it too, right? I'm not just listening to this nonsense out here. So I realized they woke me up and they said, you need to start listening to abundance and Abraham Hicks again and certain things that are allowing you to manifest. And so last night I was listening to it a bit, and I've been journaling and meditating on this thing. And I realized that I was putting brackets on my life. I'm afraid of this move. Therefore, unconsciously, I was stopping flow and stopping myself from doing certain things that could create abundance and allow this change to happen, because I didn't know where I was going. I don't know what to expect when I get there. Therefore, fear is coming up. Therefore, I'm putting the brakes on my dreams. And that was huge for me, because you guys know how I live. Exactly, Jan, my beautiful little Jan, stepping out of my comfort zone. And I went, wow, this is why people struggle. This is why we struggle. because we don't know where we're going. We don't know what it's going to look like. So we're afraid. So we trip ourselves up here. We just sabotage, or we don't do things that we're supposed to do. And we just trip ourselves up. So what does this have to do with soul's purpose? Well, this is all part of it, right? This is all part of it for me. I'm a transparent teacher. I live in visibility. I teach you what I learn as I'm going through it or after I'm going through it. And I learn the best that way. That's my soul's purpose, to teach from my life experiences and what I observe. And I said, no more, not doing that. I got into meditation. I said, I don't know where I'm going, but you keep telling me to do it. So I'm trusting you completely, which I do. I have a very great relationship with my guides. And I'm doing it one step at a time. Exactly, Wendy. And I'm continuing on the road. And it cleared those brackets. So all of a sudden, new inspiration is born. And I'm able to do more. And with that, I'll be able to serve more my community because more of me is fully expressed. I'm living a fuller me. So let me know if this made sense and if you understand why I'm saying all this. So the biggest things I want you to realize, and we're going to discuss how you get to your soul's purpose next time. I'm going to do some activities with you and some exercises. But the biggest thing I want you to realize is that your soul's purpose costs nothing but what you do to it. Fear, lack, scarcity. And you can live your soul's purpose from this moment. Your soul's purpose is going to change. Our soul's purpose is our soul, expressing our soul. How we do it changes. Maybe you help kids one week, and then maybe the next month you're like, I want to help elderly people. How we do it. But what we're doing, what is our soul's purpose? You're bringing your soul to everything you do. How many of you right now are going to commit to me that you are going to bring your soul to everything you do? That's what I want to know. How many of you are going to bring your soul to everything you do this year? Okay, so that's what I want to know. Argus says I can give it a shot. Okay, I'll take that, Argus. Annette says I commit. Susan says bring my soul to everything I do. Gentry says yep. Annette says been in the same place. Huge change for past 12. I can't see it all. Morgan says I commit. Annette says me. Catherine says yes. And Jody says yay. I love it. Yes, yes, yes. Jan, Sandra, yes. Colleen's giving me a thumbs up. Elizabeth says I commit. Yes, love it. So you can give me those stars, you can give me those likes and loves again. So how many of you now and answer this one honestly. How many of you are afraid? What does it mean to bring your soul into everything? Are any of you afraid? And if not, great. Or maybe you know, like I did, oh, I've got fear here. What am I going to do with this fear? Because it's not about being afraid. It's about what you're going to do with the fear. So let's continue on this journey together with talking about stepping out, living your life fully from your soul, whether there's fear, excitement. I wrote my realtor, she didn't write me back because I've been driving her nuts. I'm like, thank you for helping me navigate this. I'm in anxiety, I'm in fear and excitement all at the same time, and inspiration. And we have to be in all of those emotions to feel fully engaged. And sometimes there's no fear, and that's okay too. So Gia, I'm going to call you out on this one. I suppose I need to work with the fear. The way that you work with the fear is by doing it anyway. It's by doing it anyway, because the fear is going to come up. So a lot of times people think they have to work on the fear and take a step back and not do it, right? And they're like, let me heal the fear first. Let me heal it. Let me heal it. The fear doesn't get healed. Like Elizabeth Gilbert says in her book, Big Magic, she's like, fear's there all the time. I invite it into the car. I tell it we're going on a road trip, but it's not allowed to drive. It's not even allowed to touch the radio, but it could be there in the car because I know it's going to be there. But we're going. So that's what I want to say to you. All right. Now we're going to come to a closing here because next time we are going to talk about how to really hone in on your soul's purpose, how to find it, how to hone it. A lot of you from this question today pretty much know what it is, but now we have to get into the specifics of it, right? So great. Our soul's purpose is, let me go down to some of the other ones. Let me see if I can go down. Hold on. To serve, Audrey says, to serve, support people and animals. That's actually good. She's got a specific thing there. Maureen says, love with light. How do we get specific with that now? What does she mean? It's beautiful. But what can she do? Where can she bring to love with light, right? So we need to know where we're bringing it. Courtney says the best self. So where is she bringing her best self? What is she bringing that out into? Merritt says to stay in my heart. I haven't seen you in a while, Merritt. It's nice to see you here. To stay in her heart, right? Colleen says to be an energetic catalyst for others. So next week, what we're going to talk about is the specifics around your soul purpose. How to find the specifics. Soul's purpose. Okay? So how to find the specifics around your soul's purpose. So that's what we're going to be talking about next Tuesday. I believe it's still 12:30. Pulling up my calendar. I know it's 12:30. I haven't changed it. So next week it's still 12:30. And right now I'm just going to stay on for a few more minutes and answer any questions you have. And remember, if you're just joining us, type in predictions and you're going to get my beautiful ebook of the year-long predictions. And you're also going to get embedded in that the MP3s. The MP3, but you're going to have a hard time hearing it. But at least you'll get to hear the channeled message. You could follow along with the ebook and listen to it that way if you want. I like reading and listening. That's really great for me. So that's what I'm going to do. So type in if you have any questions for me, and then I'm going to scuttle, as Catherine says in Membership for Your Soul. She's one of my members. She's going to scuttle on out of here. I love that word. And I'm just looking something up. Okay. Sometimes it takes a little time, guys, so just bear with me. How do you find your soul's purpose? That's what we're going to do next time. How do you find your soul's purpose? Okay. Let's see if there's any questions that I can help and answer. UK time for next live. You're going to have to do one of those Google calendars. Right now it's 1 o'clock Pacific Coast time. So whatever time you are in UK, just subtract it. So you guys are ahead of me. So it's 12:30. It's going to be 12:30. All right. Thanks, Mel. So I just want to see if there's any question. Yeah. April, you're giving away the secrets. You're giving away the secrets, April. Great. So if anybody has any questions, type it in now. Ofer says, I have voices in my head that tell me my soul's purpose is wrongdoing. How can I discern if these things are true or not? That is a fascinating picture. I like that picture. Well, what I would say to you, Ofer, is this. It gets very tricky, right? So I have voices in my head that tell me my soul's purpose is wrongdoing. How can I discern if these things are true or not? You have to go with your joy. This is what we're going to talk a bit about next week, because what happens is that your soul's purpose is something that you just feel joy and love around, right? But say you're not feeling joy and love around it, and that's probably because there's people in your life who told you couldn't do it, or you're too afraid to do it. So that could be what's going on. So you have to look at the voices in your head and ask which one is really me and which one is my school teachers, my parents, my priest, whatever it was that shaped your life, your life experiences. That's what I'd start. I'd also suggest for you to journal it out and see how you feel when you journal it out. When you journal it out, are you experiencing bliss and excitement with it? And then I would journal out the voices, and I would highlight the voices in different colors. So say you journaled out everything that's going on. You took all the voices in your head, you put them on a piece of paper. Then I would take, like, say you like the green for you. I would highlight your voice in green. I would highlight a negative voice in orange. I would highlight another voice in red and get an idea, pick whatever colors are for you. I'm saying those colors are good for me. Red might be an exciting color for you. Pick a color that's close to your soul. Pick a color you don't like, and highlight the different voices on the piece of paper. And it's going to start you to get clear about what is really yours and what isn't. And I think that that's a great exercise that's going to help you to start getting clear about it. For me, when I was doing this work, I had to get very clear about where I began and where other people ended. Like, they was so enmeshed. My family's talks and my Catholic nun school teaching was so stuck in there, and I had to pull it apart and get clear. And how I did was really start getting into everyday things that I really love to do, or things that I've wanted to do when I was a kid that people told me not to do or I couldn't do. So that's what helped me to know my own voice. So it takes a little practice, takes a little work. It's not going to happen overnight, but being conscious of it, doing this exercise, something like this will help you be conscious of it. Okay, I'm going to take another question. Angela asks, how do we get into the calm to get into the messages? Too much noise all around. Great question, Angela. So you need to have some type of ritual. And what I would suggest you do, so I journal every single morning. I get what's in here out on a piece of paper. I love it. I've tried stopping it sometimes, and I just can't stop it. It really works for me. It comes from the artist way, and I'm really grateful for those morning pages. Take a walk in nature. So if all of a sudden, like, the voices in your head are just, rah, 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 gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this, gotta do that, I would write it, because I think that that's the best way to start dumping out what's in your head to start getting clear in here. I'd also suggest you start with mantras, things that you can say in rote. And then when a voice comes in, or if something comes in, say a mantra. So say you're trying to meditate and you're trying to get information, and all you hear is, I got to do the laundry, I got to pay the bills, oh my goodness, the taxes are due. Then every time that comes in, I would say a mantra, or I'd breathe it away. And just start doing little ritualistic behaviors like that will help you to start creating calm in your mind, body, and soul. Lighting a candle and creating sacred space will also help, because what's going to happen is you're going to get into a routine, a habit inside of you that says, when I light this candle, when I pull this water out and these cushions, this is my time. And eventually you'll start getting into a place where, oh, this is my time. Those are some of the tips. I have a lot of tips, but those are some of the tips that I would suggest. Carolyn says, committing to my purpose, how do I challenge the challenges that speaking to my truth has given me in the past? Well, right away, I would say, for me, Carolyn, there's healing that has to happen in there, because the challenges are still leaving you with holes. They're leaving you in a place that you're either having fear, or you're feeling like you have to fight for something. Just even the word challenges and the way that you wrote that to me is showing me that you're still kind of stuck in the old story. Not saying that you don't deserve, you probably went through a lot of stuff. I'm not negating any of that. I'm just trying to give you opportunity to change. So what I would suggest start saying, a simple thing that was taught to me was, up until now, it was challenging. Up until now, I had this issue. Up until now, people told me I couldn't do it. Start rewriting a new story and write the story from this moment. Whenever I said to my guides a long time ago, you know, how do I get past this block? They said to me, you go around it. You don't need to sit there and wait till you heal that block, fix that block, make that block better, or move it out of the way. Because it's not going to, you're just going to sit there and focus on that block. They said you go around it, you live your life, you do the things that you're scared to do, and whatever that block is creating inside of you will show up in the flow of your life. So while you're living your life in flow, say I'm afraid to reach out and call a publisher to publish my book or something, right? Then Spirit would say, and I'd be like, I got to heal from what Sister Amy said to me in 3rd grade. Spirit would say to me, no, we walk around that block, we call a publisher, maybe a smaller publisher you don't care about hearing no from, and then you deal with whatever comes up inside of you in that moment. You have to deal with blocks in the flow of your life, not get stuck. So for you, the challenges in the past, to me, it would be like, get out and do it. Get out and do it. And when that old story comes up, have a very nurturing thing inside of you to heal yourself through it. So when something happens to me that throws me, then I know exactly what to do. I'm journaling, I'm meditating, I'm walking in nature, I'm calling a good friend, I'm taking my dog someplace and just paying attention to them. I'm listening to a podcast, I'm listening to something else. You know, I have a toolbox, which is why we're doing the 28-day challenge and membership for your soul right now. And they are having mind-blowing experiences in there. That is such an incredible course for toolboxes. You know, it creates a toolbox of things to do. So that's what I suggest you do. Take one more and then I have to stop because I have to go. How do I clear the way to find the job, paramedic, which I feel is in line with my soul's purpose, light work? I can't seem to get a job. So, Brooke, when things like that happen, it's a really good question because I know a lot of people probably have been in this experience of going for a job, and they're not getting it. What happens in those experiences is that you focus on the fact that you're not getting the job. And what I really have learned, and I've definitely have learned this, and I definitely practice this, is that you not getting that job doesn't mean you're not supposed to be a paramedic. There's something else that's being revealed. So instead of focusing on not getting the job, focus on what it is you love about being a paramedic. What is it about it that you want to do? Try to find other ways that you can use those skills in other avenues. Maybe it's not exactly as a paramedic right now. Maybe you're supposed to take those skills into something else. Like, I know that this is not correct, so forgive me. I'm going to say something that you couldn't do, but I'm going to say it. Maybe you're supposed to be a school's nurse. Maybe a paramedic that's supposed to be on volunteering at the kids' soccer games. So I want you to not give up on the dream of being a paramedic because that's not what you're supposed to do. But what you're supposed to do is say, okay, God, Spirit, my guides are pointing me to something even bigger and better. And I trust that I'm not getting this job for a reason, not because I suck, forgive my language, but that's what people go through, but because they're pointing me in a bigger direction or they're preparing me for something even bigger. Because maybe they know that you being a paramedic on an emergency team right now, there's going to be some kind of sensitivity that's going to happen inside of you. And they're building up your character for that moment. So for anybody who's having this experience where they're going after something and they're not getting it, if you have to stop the thoughts of, I'm not getting it, I'm not getting it, I'm not getting it, and you have to change it to, this is a mindset shift. What are they trying to tell me? What is this about? Wow, what else could there be? There must be something better out there. There must be something greater for me. You have to do that. Look, I suffered a disappointment 2 weeks ago, a week ago. Wow, did they move me past it and into a better greatness? I was thinking too small, but I thought that's all it was until they closed that door. And instead of me going, oh, they closed that door again after I poured my heart and soul into it, and instead looked for another avenue, looked at what it taught me, looked how it built my own character, looked at where I've squashed dreams before when people have said no to me. How many of you have done this? Someone says no to you when you have a dream, and then you just squash the friggin' dream and throw it out. How many of you have done that? because I know I have, and I'm not doing that any longer. So that's what I offer up to you. Okay, I do have to stop. I have to get into Membership for Your Soul because they are like gangbusters in there doing the 28-day challenge. And I have to get it. I want to get in there, and I've got to like comment and do all my stuff over there. Matter of fact, Membership for Your Soul, give me like a couple of minutes. I'm going to jump in and do a quick live with you guys because it's something I want to talk to you about. So I know a lot of my members are on here, so I'm going to be in there in about 2 minutes because I want to talk to you, and then I'll answer everything. Thank you, everybody. Remember to type in predictions if you're just joining, and you're going to get my predictions for the whole year. They're really, really good. And I am wanting you to join me next week, 12:30 my time, for how to get to the specifics of your soul's purpose. There's the nose. Much love, everybody. Bye. All right, Membership for Your Soul. I'll be right in there, okay?